Hello Aries, thank you for coming back. If you're a returning subscriber, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the reading. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. So in the first house we have Saturn Truth. So this is a card of wisdom and understanding, but it can also bring up age-related issues. So whether this is you just feeling older or starting to mature, it could also be that some issues, physical issues, may be coming up at this time, because the first house rules everything to do with yourself, your appearance, your physical body, your vitality, and it's also your self-oriented interests. It's also your personality and your characteristics which other people can see. So it's what you're projecting outwards as well. That is what is covered by the first house. It's also your personal independence as you are making your way through life. So with this card coming in, as I said, it's about wisdom and understanding. It's also time related. So it also brings in age related issues. So you may just be feeling older, or you're noticing certain things now are coming up. Or it could just be that, as I said, you are maturing after a period. Or, if you're younger, then you may just be starting to feel a bit mature. But this is necessarily also about facing truths about yourself and about perhaps your how you are in your world, how you project yourself to others. It could also be about facing a few truths, just physically, or how you project yourself. Physically, you may be noticing certain things to do with your teeth, or your bones, your skeletal structure, or even the tendons and ligaments which you have. So if you're in a physical regime, if you're a sports person or somebody who's likes to keep fit or is enjoying various types of activities, physical activities, you may be noticing certain things now which require attention, or if you are aware of something, then you need to deal with it as well. But it's also about facing certain realities and truths. It may just be a physical reality that perhaps you can't do what you used to do 5 years ago, or you need to change the way you are living your life so that you can be fitter. There's lots of things that this can come in. So what you have to make an assessment, what is working for you, what isn't working for you, and just face up to certain things. Perhaps a change of diet is required, something. It's also about streamlining. You're going to be feeling pressured and challenged at this time with this card. That always comes in. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to create tangible progress. That's really what you need to do. So whether it's a physical thing that you're trying to do, or it's the way you are moving through your world, but you will feel pressured, you will feel restricted at this time. You probably got quite a few challenges on your plate. You could also having access to a mentor of some kind who's quite strong with what the regimes that they're putting out there, or you're dealing with somebody like that, or it's an authority figure of some kind. It's best not to challenge authority during this phase. Just buckle down, do what you need to do, and work with the energies of Saturn, which is a form of austerity, really, if I can say that. So you may have a few disappointments about certain things that you simply can't do, or you won't be able to do at this time. So there may be physical or emotional or mental challenges at this time. You also may be coming across to others as being quite businesslike, ambitious, or focused. Responsibility comes in as well. Patience, fame may also be coming, as well if you're in a public arena. But goal-oriented is really a hallmark of Saturn as well. So you may be coming across like that to others, or you may need to bring those aspects into your life now so that you can harness the very best of Saturn to get where you need to be. Then in the second house, we have Sagittarius IC. Second house is everything to do with your money coming in, however that's coming into you. So what you're earning. It's also, other forms of money. Perhaps you've got passive income coming, but it's money coming in to you. It's also the house of your self-worth and your value systems. So that can be, those are all interlinked actually as well. So you may have to be having a sort of a look at all of that, and just assessing certain things. But it also can cover, the second house can also cover property. So whether you're working in property or you are looking at property for yourself, something like that may come in. So now with this card coming in, it's a lovely card to be having. It can bring in luck for you, some sort of breakthrough. You could be making your mark in some way in any one of those areas. It's also about obtaining freedom in some way. So you may be feeling quite restless in certain aspects. And it's important to give yourself a change of routine, to actually try new things. It's about expansion. There will be favorable conditions for that as well. So whether this is putting the money that you're earning into certain things, perhaps you need to have a bit more fun. But there's kind of a freedom from what you have, how you have been, and that is going to perhaps bring you a lighter and a more joyful and optimistic outlook. It's about being broad-minded. The outdoors comes into this as well. But it also is just being optimistic, perhaps about your future, perhaps about what the money's coming in, or about what you value in your life, and feeling more optimistic about your own particular self-worth. So you could just be feeling lighter and just brighter in general, or you are receiving luck or some kind of breakthrough when it comes to the money that's coming in. Perhaps you're getting a big contract in or something like that. This card is also about honesty, so this is with yourself and with others. Also be careful with money at this time. So this is in your money house. So because sometimes Sagittarians can be very sort of do everything too extreme. So you could be overly generous, or spending money on unnecessary things, or just splashing out, sort of indulgent really. So it's a kind of indulgence. So there's a useful indulgence which makes you feel good and is good for you, and then there's overdoing it. So just be aware of that. Then in with the third house, we have lunar eclipse change. So your third house covers all forms of communication. This is written, verbal, and it can even be body language. It also covers documents and contracts of all kinds. It also deals with interactions with the greater public or people in general, but also certain members of your family. So this is cousins, siblings, aunts, uncles, and it can also be neighbors as well. This house also covers short journeys, short trips, local trips. So with this card coming in, usually it indicates an abrupt change of some kind, or a very swift upheaval, some kind of change, it could be a bubbling over. So this is something that's been sitting there that hasn't been dealt with, or you knew it was there, but you just didn't have the energy or the opportunity to deal with it, or it could just be something that was overlooked. But there's a bubbling over with this card. It could also be that you are seeing the light about something. Being this is your communication house, so this could be messages in or messages out. So you could be receiving information, or you may be giving it out, but you could also just be seeing light. So this is almost like a truth comes out, something like that. Or it could just be you having a completely new way of looking at something, new perspective, new attitude, new awareness. It could also be about changing old habits. It could also be memories that you're assessing, you're looking at, and now you see that memory for what it is. But it's an inevitable change that is coming to you. So it's something that needs to change, something that has to change, and you're just going to have to go with it. You may be making a new start because a sort of a comfortable or a familiar structure is going to end, and then you have to deal with that and make a new start in some way. There's also cycles indicated with this card because it is ruled by the moon. So things could be going through cycles, or perhaps it's a project you're working on that's going through cycles. But this could also be that it indicates that whatever is coming to you, whatever change is coming to you, or new attitude or perspective or whatever, the change could be really, as I said, really quick, and it could all be done and dusted within 6 weeks, or it may take place over a 6-month period. But the initial change is quite quick. You could also be experiencing things being upped to a new level. So your communication may have to go to a new level, or whatever it is that you're dealing with in your third house. It's you're taking something to a new level. It could be that as well. But this change may be abrupt and uncomfortable at first. It's designed to do that, to get you out of your comfort zone, to push you in the right direction. It could also be that you're in somehow, because this house deals with contracts and documents, you could also be getting a new home of some sort, or a residence in some way, which is in relation to a plan or a goal that you have. Okay, so it's to do with that. It's working hand in hand with that. So whether you're starting a business from home or something like that. But it will be a sudden or an unexpected change, or both. When I say unexpected, it was something that could have been bubbling over, something that was known, but it's the speed of it that when it comes to you to deal with, that will be unexpected. It could also be that you may be making a big purchase of some kind at this time. Also, if a short trip comes in, it could be, as I said, an unexpected trip which may come to you, or some kind of journey, small journey. But this is all about change, but it could be very swift, but it could also be a change of perspective for you, something that is not going to be a gradual thing. This is going to really change the way you look at things, and the way you communicate, and the way you deal with others quite significantly. Then in the fourth house, we have Libra eye balance. So your fourth house is your house of home. This is your physical home, but it's also the atmosphere in the home and the people in your home. It also is your relationship with your ancestry, your roots, your foundation, your ethnic identity, where you came from, your foundation, your family foundation, where you came from. It's your relationship with that as well. So now with Libra coming in here, it's a nice card to be having. It's about merging, whether you're merging with another in your home, but it's about merging, it's about forming alliances, mutual support. It's about finding fairness and balance. So it's pretty much the middle path, without losing your own way, without sacrificing your own wants and needs as well. So it's about finding balance there. Harmony comes in with this card. You may be coming to a decision about something, because that is indicated with this. You could be entering a romance as well, or be having romantic circumstances in your home. Some sort of partnership could be coming in for you, but there's contentment indicated, so it's a nice thing that's coming in for you, and it will your home base will be feeling loving and contented. It's also about, if it's a physical home, you may be bringing beautiful things into your home, or art, or some kind of creative endeavor, but this card does rule the arts. So it could be that you want to change something in your home. Perhaps you want to redecorate. So you're being asked to bring that in, or you will be receiving sort of items that are beautiful to you, or artistic items that are beautiful to you, and bringing them into your home. This card also brings in legal documents, benefits shared with a partner. So it could be to do with a home, a new home, which was kind of indicated in the house before as well. So it could be a new home that you're getting, and it's the merging of your items and your actual, you're now going to be merging within a home. But there's these benefits attached to this in some way. It's going to benefit you and your partner. It could also be a marriage or an engagement, or some kind of merging, as I said, between you and a partner. But if that is not indicated for you, then it really is just about bringing in the harmony and the charm and the beauty into your home to make it more romantic and more supportive of you. Or it could be that you're sharing your home with another, and that you are in mutual support of each other. Then in the fifth house, we have Grand Trine Blessings. So this is another lovely card. Your fifth house is your house of creativity, your creativity. It's also the house of children, whether they're your children or other children that you're associated with at this time. It's also the house of love affairs, and the house of having fun. All kinds of activities which are recreational and fun, and there may be a risk element to them as well. This house also rules stock exchange and also gambling. Any kind of risk taking is indicated in this house. So with this coming in, you can expect harmony and blessings coming in again for you. There's easy flow. Luck is coming in for you. And some sort of opportunity. Also favorable conditions, just favorable conditions all round in any one of those fifth house areas. So if you've got a creative project on the go, it could be helping you with that. Or it could be to do with you and your relationship with your children, or things that you and your children are doing together. It's going to be very enjoyable. Or the conditions in your home that you're creating for your children will be very favorable. And likewise with a love affair with a partner, very favorable conditions and harmony and blessings coming in there. So in any one of those fifth house areas, if you have been experiencing a block of some kind, this could be lifted from you now. But with all these good vibes coming in, you can't just sit back and coast and let things unfold around you too much. You still have to steer, you still have to work at it to reach your goals, whatever they may be for the fifth house. Because you will be in the right place at the right time, but you need to harness that position. So wherever you find yourself, however you find yourself, and it's an opportunity that comes to you, suddenly you find yourself in just the right place, the right time, you have to work that opportunity to bring it to fruition for yourself. You've really got to apply effort as well. So, but this is going to bring things to you, and there's going to be flow, all right? So you're not going to be hitting so many obstacles like perhaps you have been for some time, or something that you've been grappling with. Your relationships will improve. It's also a very good aspect for connecting with a true partner. So this is like a love affair that is now perhaps going to the next level. This person is going to be a very good partner for you, but you have to be mutually supportive, and you have to both be working on the relationship. Then it will really set you up for the long term. Also, you may be wanting to get finance for a fifth house purpose of some kind, whether it's for your children or for a creative project or something to do with that. But it's favorable for that as well, obtaining finance for a purpose of some kind. Creativity is very enhanced with this card in your fifth house. So it could be you being creative with certain things, or it's with your children. Your children could be going through that. But it's highly indicated with this card coming in. Then in the sixth house, we have Scorpio, I transform. So with your sixth house is your house of work, your workplace, your work colleagues, your work projects. So even if you don't go to a workplace, but you have got projects that you're working on, it covers that. It also covers mastery of your craft, whatever it is that you do. I mean, it could be many things that you do, but it's gaining mastery over those things. It's also your daily routines within those tasks. It's also the house of health and diet and the house of pets. So now with Scorpio, I transform. This is a very strong card coming in for you. It does indicate some pressure. This is a demanding time for you, whatever you're trying to do in the sixth house. So you can expect a demanding time. It will be there will be pressure and intensity, and this is intensity to transform. So it's transform either your position in what you're doing, or the environment that you work in, or the work that you're busy with. So there's some kind of pressure to transform how you have been doing things to how you're going to be moving forward. It could also be resurrection of some kind. So this is something coming out of an old thing that was thought dead or just had faded away. Something may come out of that now. Some kind of resurrection, whether it's an old interest or an old work project, or something comes back to you from before. It's also about gaining what you have worked hard for. So again, it could be harvesting something that you've been beavering away at for some time. You may be receiving that coming back to you now. In the actual workplace or work colleagues, there could be issues around secrets coming out, or intrigues of some kind, or there could be suspicion even. So just be careful of your reputation and what you're doing, and how you're getting on in that environment, because something could be cast over you, and it's not actually, it's nothing to do with you, but there's a few undercurrents that may come up with this card. There may be those that are working against you. You may just see them for who they are as well, if there is somebody in your environment like that. It's also, like I said, it's almost like things coming to light as well. You're seeing things that perhaps weren't there before, or weren't known, or were just under the surface. This card is also about being resourceful. You're going to have to be resourceful to work with this card, because it's a very strong energy. It's going to bring intensity and pressure. So you're going to have to be resourceful about what you're doing. You also need to be careful with finances, property and assets, anything like that, taxes as well, legacies. So this is issues to do with the past, or relatives from the past, and you're now involved with their inheritances or their legacies, or you're involved there somehow. That could also come back to you in this way. Health and diet is covered elsewhere in your chart, but I would say with this coming in, you may just be under a bit of stress, so watch your stress levels and perhaps deal with that. Some of you may also be undergoing sort of deep self-analysis about what it is that you're doing in your 6th house. So it could be that you need to just chat to somebody who's more experienced, or go to a therapy of some kind, whatever is appropriate for you. But it's basically looking after yourself and assessing where you need to be and what you need to do to get there. But your health must support you in all of that. So there may be self-analysis from a diet and a healthy living point of view as well, to support you in your working life. Then in the 7th house, we have Virgo, I analyze. So your 7th house is your house of relationships. So this is close, personal, one-on-one relationships, or it could be a business partnership, or any other close personal relationship that you're in at this time. So with this card coming in, Virgo, I analyze. It covers a variety of things, but because we're talking about a relationship, close personal, one-on-one, you could be experiencing various issues which are coming up for you to deal with. So fear of imperfections, or fear of underperforming in some way. So this could be a very real relationship fear that you have, or just feeling uncomfortable or not sure of yourself. So shyness comes in as well. That may come in with this in the 7th house in your relationship. Health matters may appear as well. So you could just be feeling a bit nervous and struggling with a bit of digestion because you're worrying, or you're nitpicking about yourself in this relationship. You're worrying about how you're appearing, how you're going to perform in this relationship. Are you doing the best you can? You could be nitpicking about yourself, overthinking things totally. So there could be a bit of worry there, and that affects your nerves and your digestion. Or it could just be that you're in this relationship and perhaps your normal routines, your normal daily routines, how you look after yourself and your self-care has changed because you're now organizing yourself around another. And therefore your diet may be off. You may be eating different things or doing different things, and it's not your normal routine. So that could affect your health. Or it could just be that you need to sort things out to get yourself back on track, to work within the relationship, but also for the greater good of yourself, So any of those issues could be coming up. It could also just be that you need to declutter within your relationship. So whether this is with your possessions, perhaps you've got too much stuff around you, and it's creating a problem in the relationship, or it could be just that you need to get organized, you need to streamline, perhaps get rid of things that no longer serve your relationship or your life together. It could also be about you making helpful and constructive suggestions to move your relationship forward. So this could come up in a myriad of ways. It could also just be about managing daily finances, or how you interact with your partner. It could also be that you just need a good tidy up. Those that may come in for you. Details are important with this card. It could also be that you and your partner are working together in a business. As I said, this does cover business relationships. So whether it's a love partner and you're in a business relationship with them, or whether you are going into business with a business partner, it's highly indicated with this card. Numbers come in, details, spreadsheets, writing, words, anything like that. So formulating business plans, getting things together, sorting out your communications, websites, all of that. All comes in under this. But it's a detail-oriented card, so you've got to get organized and get things sorted out. Through all of it, just make sure you stay present, that you're not slipping off, worrying about the future, or worrying about the past, or whatever. Just stay present and deal with what needs to be done now, so that you can create what you need to for tomorrow. But get organized, declutter in whatever way that is for you, whether it's an emotional declutter or whether it's a physical declutter of things. Get your desk clear if you're working with this person. It's all of that, but it's a tidy up, but it's also, yes, there's self-assessment in there, but not to worry or nitpick overly about things. You want to move forward with this relationship, but also in a healthy way. And, you sort of work through your shyness or work through your issues about, perhaps, you not being perfect in this endeavor. So look at all of those issues. It all comes in under Virgo. Then in the 8th house, we have solar eclipse revolution. So with this coming in, we've already had lunar eclipse. Now we've got the solar eclipse coming in. Your 8th house is your house of big finance. So this is your taxes, investments, insurances, banking, accounting, and also inheritances or legacies, any of your big assets, that sort of thing. It's also the house of handling other people's money or getting involved with other people's money. So that could be a profession for you, or you may be doing it on behalf of somebody. It's also it's a big house for all sexual issues, death issues, and rebirth. But that could be an ego death, not necessarily it's a symbolic death. It's not a physical death. So this could be things that are no longer serving you, which need to change into new things now. So with this coming in, something possibly will fall away to make way for a rebirth of some kind, for whether it's a physical rebirth or a business or something like that. The 8th house covers, it's also committed relationships in a one-on-one partnership. So whether that's a love partnership or whether it's a business partnership, it's the deeper committed issues between you. So that's the merging of your finances, the merging of your emotional and your physical resources. So this house is indicating that there's a change of some kind. It's a sudden upheaval of some kind, a rearrangement of how things have been. It's also about self-mastery as well. So there could be a forced decision of some kind, or where you will need to act to fix or change something, to create something much better. And whatever it is that you're creating will work out brilliantly for you. So that changing or fixing something, you've got to dive in and sort it out, or you could be forced into a decision of some kind. There could be a change of direction in here for you. You could be breaking old patterns. So perhaps the way you have been living your life, now you're linking up with a partner and you have to rearrange things. You have to change the way things have been to incorporate another person into your life. Or it could just be, as I said, a business partnership which you are rearranging in some way. So the familiar falls away. It's an inevitable change. It's a growth change. So the familiar falls away and something new will come in, but it could be quite an upheaval, quite sudden. But you will have to reinvent yourself in some way as well, or reinvent the partnership as you know it. So what you have been in before will be changing now. In the 9th house, we have Jupiter Abundance. So this card, in the 9th house, it's quite a broad house. It covers quite a few different aspects. But basically, it's about you meeting the world or the world meeting you in some way. So this is about exploration, traveling, foreign countries, international travel. It could also just be interacting with people who are foreign or interacting with cultures that are foreign to you. And it could also be an import-export business, or it could be you online interacting with others from other places in the world and so on. So it's that kind of broad aspect. The 9th house also covers further education and study. So that's university level or adult education, some kind of course. It also this house also rules philosophy, religion, and belief systems of all kinds. Okay, it also covers teaching, publishing, and preaching as well. If falling under religion, it's also the house of law, the law, and the higher courts. And it could also be covering your relationship with your in-laws if you have that. Yeah, so it's quite a broad house, but it's also about gaining wisdom, and it can fall into any one of those areas, which is what each one is actually striving for in any case. It also covers professions like public relations or promotional work of any kind. Okay, so now with Jupiter and abundance coming in, luck and opportunity, abundance, a gift or a reward may be coming to you. But it could just be some kind of boost. You could be feeling quite confident at this time as well. So it's a lot of positivity coming in with this card. It's a lovely card to be having in any house, actually. So if you're busy studying something, you could be feeling quite good about it, or you could have a really nice opportunity come to you, or you could receive a gift of an international trip of some kind, or it could be a reward, or you could just be interacting with other people, and there's a lot of positivity there. Or, as I said, you could be tackling something like perhaps you are studying or you are involved in religion in some way. And this card can bring in strength. It can bring in purpose. It can also bring faith and gratitude, generosity. It can also bring in divine help. So you could just literally have divine help over something, that comes to you. Could be inspiration, or just somebody who helps you in some way. But really, it is heaven sent. Literally, the thing that comes to you. It could also be doors opening for you in some way. So whether that's work related or something that you want to do, perhaps you're trying to publish something. Or it could be that you something that you've been trying to study, something comes to you now, or a door opens, or an opportunity arrives. So it's also about nurturing your interests as well, and your goals, and then following whatever opportunities come to you with this card. So don't overlook the details. You still need to go and apply yourself with that. Whatever opportunity comes to you, it may come quite quickly and go quite quickly as well, because Jupiter is not a long transit. So if something comes to you, follow up as quick as you can and follow it right through to the end, because you might get more than one opportunity and one of them may apply. So you've got to just follow each one and see what it brings you. But as I said, this could be purely an emotional relief of some kind, or it could be that you find the purpose to do something, or perhaps you've been struggling in your faith a little bit about something, and this comes to you just to give you that boost when you really need it. But doors are opening in some way in the 9th house. And that, as I said, could just be some kind of exploration, or it could be a trip that you're going on where you're going to learn a lot and see a lot. So it's opportunities and luck and abundance coming to you in that house. Then in the 10th house, we have North Node, life's purpose. Your 10th house is your house of career. It's your house of your fame, if that's applicable for you. It's your house of reputation and your public status. So, if you're having a change of public status, it would fall in under here, or growth in some area. This house also represents authority figures of some kind. So people that could help you. So now, with this card coming in, it is a destiny card. It's a lovely card to be having in your 10th house. I don't think you could have a better card, to be honest. So this is positive karma. Really, really positive karma, positive connections coming in, connected with your karma. You're going to be moved somehow. You're just going to find yourself in the right place for your best interests and highest good to be met. Okay, so you will just find yourself being moved in that direction in some way, almost like you've had help. And and there's expansion, opportunities coming in for you. Whatever's coming in may be very swiftly coming to you as well. So it's something that just arrives out of the blue, or it could just come to you really quickly. You knew it was coming, but it's the speed with which it comes at you is really great. You could be meeting soul family, people from your soul family, and you are aligning your talents with like-minded people. And these could be undiscovered talents as well. This could be hidden things that you perhaps were not aware of, and now they're coming to the fore, and you're able just to do so much more than you did before. There could be rapid changes, as I said, but it's rapid change for the better. It's coming in for you with this. Prosperity and fulfillment comes in with this as well. It really is a great time. It's a really wonderful card to be having for your career, because this will point you in the right direction. I mean, you may have a change of direction or be pushed now firmly in the direction that you should be in, but it really is another big door opening card. It's a wonderful opportunity to get you where you need to be. And it quite often comes very swiftly as well. And you'll be supported. You'll be with people who are like you and you have good connections with. And so really doors are opening. It's a very good time to start a business as well, which came up before. And it could also, it's almost like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So this is what this card is about. It's a lovely card to be having in that house. Then in the 11th house, we have air element communicating. So your 11th house kind of follows on from that, where it deals with your networks, your friendships, and your groups that you might be a member of. Any kind of group, whether it's an association or a social group or a society, or just people that you're involved with in a group setting. And your networks, the people that you are gaining as associates, or people that you have in your contact book or on your phone, however you do it. It's about building that up. It's also the house of your particular ideals, your hobbies and your interests, and your hopes and your dreams. Okay, it's all about that. And it's also the house of trends. So trends that are going on around you, you picking up on those trends, global consciousness, social reform, that sort of thing, all comes in this house. So with air element communication is going to be really, really important. This card is really the manifestation card, manifestation. So with that being said, you're going to have to be really careful about what you think, what you say. Must be positive. Because if you want to bring in positive manifestation, it must be positive thinking followed by positive words to bring that, to actually anchor those manifestations down for you. So in a group setting, or with your hopes and your dreams and your personal interests and hobbies, those are important, because they always require positive affirmations and positive self-talk in order to bring them in. So it could also be you interacting with others. As I said, it could be your friendships. These could be your karmic people, your soul family that are coming to you now. It could also just be people that you're interacting that you have a good connection with. You're building up your contacts, your networks, your groups. This card is also about thinking things through, weighing things up as well. Put what you want into words. So writing is highly indicated. You need to make an honest assessment of what needs to be done in this house. There's a precision and sharpness coming in with this air element card as well. New paths may be indicated, so perhaps you're changing things in your networks or the groups that you're a member of. Travel may be involved in some way, and learning as well. Science, technology, reasoning comes in with this card. So all of those elements can be applied to the 11th house, with the major element being that it is a manifestation card. So then in the 12th house we have Leo, I will. Another lovely card coming in for you. This is the 12th house is your house of your unconscious self, your unconscious drives and motivations, and so on. It's also the house of mysticism and healing and meditation. When you need to reflect on yourself and what's going on in your deeper mind, this is the house. It's also the house of service to others. And it's also the house of karmic lessons. Escapism and addictions fall into this house as well. And also your experiences in institutions of all kinds. So whether this is hospitals, museums, libraries, universities, any kind of institution, it's your interactions with your experiences that you have there. So now with the Leo I Will card coming in, I feel that this is mostly about your unconscious self, or about bringing a brighter unconscious self to the fore. Because with this card coming in, there's going to be recognition of some kind. It could also be spiritual work that you're doing, or healing work that you're doing, or you're making strides in your mystic studies or something like that, or your spiritual life. That's all ruled by the 12th house. But there's going to be some kind of recognition where you're going to be in the spotlight in some way. But this is public. This is not, amongst a few people. This is a public forum. Creativity is highly, highly indicated with this card, as are children, dealing with children or working with children in some way. That could also come in for you. But it's also about doing a variety of different things, so changing your hats all the time, being versatile. It's about bringing your personality and your originality to the fore and really showing it off now as well. So you need to stand up and be counted with this card. It's about bringing warmth and confidence in. Romance may even come in. So you can have a romantic demeanor or be involved in a romance, but it can also be you creating that lovely environment for yourself and others. You could also be feeling fairly regal in some way, so possibly you're being seen as that like that by others, having some kind of quality which sets you apart in some way. But this house could also be, as I said, a service house. So you could be in the spotlight for a service that you have, you have performed in some way. There's strength and honor coming in with this card as well. So, yeah, just see which way it works for you in your 12th house, but it could just be a lightening of your overall, your subconscious self, bringing your beautiful self to the surface. Or it could just be that you're being recognized for what it is that you're doing, who you are really at deep levels, and also in a service environment. And just really a very nice, loving and outgoing and joyful card to be having in this house. All right, Aries, looks like a lovely month coming up for you. Do hope you enjoy it. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, or like and share. And I hope you have a wonderful month. Enjoy, and I will see you next time. Take care.